Just the other day, we went and color cased the action for our 4570 African Double. We didn't get great video of this, which is our first priority, of me doing all this high-end work on it and getting these great colors, which is of course our first priority, because my cameraman was a little bit busy taking care of customers. Our first priority. But we did get some good color out of this, which is indicative of steel from this era and looks a lot like what you would have seen from an original Parker color casing or a Winchester, anything done in that early 1900s. We did, however, get some great film of niter bluing screws, which adds a real nice pop to it. We're also done with the refinishing of our forend and got the color cased iron put in there. And not that you're going to see it terribly often, but those niter blued screws really do add a nice pop to it. The next thing that we need to concern ourselves with is recoil management. Now, we do have about 7.5 pounds barrel hanging out on the front of this, which is going to do a lot to save your shoulder and also the extremely delicate wrist on this very nice piece of furniture that we've got. But we can do a little bit better. This is a Mercury Recoil reducer. It is 16 ounce, is the heaviest one that C&H makes, and it's going to fit right in the back of this stock. Now, because the wrist is delicate, the rest of the stock is delicate too, and I spent a lot of time on it, and it would absolutely break my heart if I sent a drill bit careening right through the side of it. So to prevent that, we have this jig. Fits right on there, and will guide our 7/8 inch Forstner bit, which I'm apparently the only one that knows what that is, right down the center line of the stock, preventing it from breaking. And also it is perfectly sized so that the recoil tube will fit in there snugly and not wobble about. They were nice to us. If we ever have to get it back out, there's a threaded hole in there so we can put a screw on it and give it a good old jerk. Nice thing about this jig is the holes are spaced exactly perfect for a recoil pad. I mean, not the Packmeyer that we're using, but a recoil pad. All right, we are bottomed out on our Forstner bit, which has never happened to me before. And we can move over to our novelty size 7/8 bit and use up all of our careful. And hopefully this one will be long enough. Hey, look at that, miracle of miracles. Our guide is still lined up. All right, I'm going to call that deep enough. Now, I could just hammer this thing in, but I used up all my Brave today already, so I think we'll go do some sanding on the inside of this with the dowel rod, just so that it moves in smoothly, because I do not want to split this stock by getting the big hammer out. And if it sticks out just a little bit too far, I can always take a little bit out of the inside of our recoil pad and then refill that in with something else to hold it in place. Don't want this moving, just want the Mercury inside. See you in a bit. All right, so this has only cost me the better part of an hour and about half a sheet of 120 grit paper, but we are almost done. And has been not at all tedious. But it has been worth it because it fits in there exactly. We can put our recoil pad back on. It's not critical that you use the stuff with cocoa butter, but it helps. Oh yeah. Ta-da! Now I've got an appropriate amount of mass in the back of our stock, and as soon as my rear sling swivel stops persisting in its absence, we'll be ready to finish this and put it back on the gun. Hope you guys learned something from watching this. If you have some spare time and you know something that somebody else doesn't, please share that with them. It doesn't have to be machining or woodwork or gunfuckery, but if you know something that you can pass on to the younger generation, even if it's a practical exercise on how to give a proper wedgie, share it with them. They need it.